Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lost Boy Podcast, episode 53. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, comment, like the video, share with friends, all that good stuff. If you haven't already, we just hit 1 year last week. So go check that episode out. Also check out the other episodes before it. We have some really good ones. 51 was a really good one that I really enjoyed and liked a lot. So I definitely recommend going and watching that. But needless to say, I'm Gianni.
Brandon.
Welcome. Episode 53. Today, we're going to be talking about the importance of the importance of needing to believe in yourself. Here's what I mean. To put it in a brief nutshell, if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. You won't get shit done. You won't accomplish anything. That's the very broad way of putting it. And now we're going to dissect that a little bit more. So what I mean by believing in yourself, if you tell yourself you're going to do something, you got to do it. If you don't do it, you can't expect other people to, one, trust you, believe in you, or have high expectations for you. And I know some people might say like, oh, it's not my duty to fulfill other people's expectations of me. But it is your duty to fulfill your expectations of yourself.
Right.
And the expectations people have of you are based on the expectations you have of yourself. And so if other people have low expectations from you, it's a reflection of what you expect from your own self and how you view your own self. If you view yourself as not valuable or you're not somebody who gets things done or can make things happen, then no one else will see you that way. Therefore, people won't respect you as much, in a sense, if that makes any sense.
That makes total sense. When it comes to, like you just said, expectations of yourself, maybe you don't have any expectations of yourself. But when you don't have any expectations of yourself, you tend to not really feel like you're making any progress. Or you don't hold yourself to a standard. Because if you hold yourself to a standard, then you have expectations of yourself. Mm-hmm. Now, the importance of having these set expectations dictates who you are to other people, like you said. For example, you're doing 75 hard, right? Mm-hmm. You expect of yourself that every day you're going to do X, Y, and Z, and bar none, you're going to get it done, right? So now, as an outsider who likes all of his TikToks, right? When I see day 21, day 22, day 23, right? I see, oh shit, yo, Gianni, he's consistent. Oh shit, yo, he works out twice a day. Yo, Gianni this, Gianni that, right? So now with the what I just saw from him, I'm going to form an opinion on him. Like, oh, he's disciplined. He's very diligent and he gets his shit done. While on the flip side of that, when you don't have that expectation of yourself or you don't strive to improve yourself based off of like how you feel on expectations, you're just going to be seen for, realistically speaking, your mistakes. But because you're not holding yourself to a level where it's, I'm better than this. I don't know. I took that kind of far, but I like the example of using the 75 hard because you expect yourself to do this for 75 straight days.
Yeah.
And it's not even up for debate. It's just, oh, I'm going to do this. Bar none. That's it. Bam.
Yep. Yeah, no, you made perfect sense. It's actually a really good point because if you've never done the 75 hard, I recommend everyone gives it a shot. And it's not as hard as it sounds once you start doing it, especially after you get through the first week. It becomes easier. Like, for example, today's day 24 for me. I am freaking exhausted. I still have to finish like 3 liters of water, get 2 workouts in, take my photos and read. And it's almost 9 p.m. So I got to get all that stuff in. But because I've been holding myself to a certain expectation of myself, to a certain standard, and understanding that this is where I need to be, and I will not accept anything less, that even though I know I have to do all that stuff, it's not like dreadful. It's like, okay, I really want to go to sleep, but I know I'm going to get it done either way. And a lot of that comes from the belief I have in myself, right? I genuinely believe that completing the 75 days is not a challenge for me no more, because I feel like I've gotten through the first half. I'm almost a third of the way there. And now I'm like, okay, I'm a third of the way there. I'm a third closer to completing it. So it's not that much of a struggle anymore. Now there's more belief in myself. Before I ever started it, that's when I had the doubts. The doubts were before I started. It was like, oh, I don't know. But then the minute I told myself, no, I could do this, and I just jumped in it and didn't like second guess myself or think back on it, I started doing it. And now I'm like, I wish I did it like a year ago.
Yeah.
You know? And I know I say that a lot in a couple episodes, but it's the truth. Like, you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. If you don't think that you can run and jump over something, how do you expect anyone to believe you or believe in you that you could do it? It's like, perfect example is working out. You ever see somebody who's let's say benching, for example, and you see them do the weight, and in their mind, it's like, oh, I don't know if I could hit 225. But you just saw them hit 205 for 5. And you're like, you could definitely get 225. And it wasn't like a struggle for 5. It was like an easy 5. It's like, oh, I don't know. But it's because they don't believe in themselves. And they have this belief in themselves that is, whoa, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. And it takes an outsider looking at them to say, like, nah, dude, you can do it. Here, let me show you. Just go do it. I'm going to spot you and you're going to be fine. And then they do it one time and suddenly they believe in themselves. Next thing you know, they're hitting 225 for 8 reps like it's no problem. It just takes the belief of believing, oh, I can do it. And I know it's a struggle because it's a struggle for me. When you haven't done it yet, it feels like it's impossible. Like it's forever. Like, oh my God, this is never going to happen. And then it happens and you're like, I could do this again.
Like Seneca says, we suffer up here. Yep. We suffer 90% of the time up here. But what you just said is so true because that's exactly what happened to me. I was, I always went to the same weight, did my reps, and eventually, for example, right, I would go to 195. First time I did it for 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, but I never went higher than that, like, because I never PR'd either. I never thought about it until somebody at the gym was like, yo, shout out Nico, by the way, for this. He was like, yo, dude, like, what's your max? And I was like, oh, like, I don't know, like, my max is what I can rep out. That's how I consider it. He was like, oh, like, you ever tried 225? And I was like, nah, bro, chill. Like, that's a lot, right?
Yeah.
He was like, nah, dude, like, dude, just do it. Like, try it, right? And I was like, nah, whatever. Like, fuck it. Worst case scenario, I die, right? But so whatever, we put it on. And I didn't get it, like, totally easy. But I didn't struggle as much as I thought I was going to. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. And it's like, yo, that you don't get that what the fuck, I'm capable of this realization unless you put yourself through shit.
Yeah. And to an extent, so I know from the outside perspective, right, how we're describing right now, somebody may say like, oh, but what you're describing is somebody else's belief in you. And yes, it is partially true. There was belief of someone else in us that pushed us, but there also still was belief in ourselves to just give it a try. Yeah. Because we could have still not believed in ourselves. For example, you could have still not believed in yourself and said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. No, trust me, I can't do it. And then just talk your way out of it. But instead you're like, fuck it. Let me try it. Maybe I can do it. That little tiny like skepticism in your mind of maybe I can do it is what allowed you to then get it done. Where now, I guarantee you in a month or two from now, you'll probably put up 225 for 8 with no problem. And then you're going to reflect and be like, damn, I remember thinking about 225 or seeing people doing it and be like, damn, those motherfuckers are strong. And now you're doing, you're like, 225 is nothing. And then you're going to look at 315 and be like, damn. And then eventually you'll get there and you're going to be like, it's not that much. Like, at least that's how it was for me when it came to working out. Like, before I hit 225, I used to see people do 225 and I'd be like, damn, man, hopefully one day I get there. I didn't believe I could get there until one day I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to try it. I got a spot. I tried it. I hit it. And ever since that day, I've been hitting 225 forever again in my life.
I want you guys to know this about Gianni. He's not like most people. He doesn't bench with the bar. He's surpassed that. He's gone Super Saiyan mode now, where now he just has people lay on top of him. He just benches them like that.
I wish.
He uses all the plates in the gym. Like,
they're all fake plates. Stack them all up.
What is it, like 40 kilograms or whatever it is? Whatever the light one is.
I don't know. It might be kilograms, yeah. Actually, I don't know. KGs, I might actually be heavier than pounds.
I don't fucking know. But
yeah. No, that's how it was for me. And then I used to look at people hitting, 275. And I used to be like, damn, 275, that's crazy. That's a crazy number. That's a lot. And then I hit 275. And then now I hit 275, and like to me, it's not like that much. It's like, it's okay. I want to hit 315. Probably when I hit 315, maybe for like the first 2 weeks, I'm gonna be like, damn. And then the third week, I'm like, it is what it is, because I can do it now.
Yeah.
So I think that belief though transpires into everything.
You know what I just had the realization of? It's the same game with everything, right? You ever had a girl, right, where it's like, yo, that girl's bad. Like, yo, I want to hook up with her. I want to date her. I want to, whatever. Insert any action here. Like, you want that girl. You want that girl. You want that girl. You get her. You're like, like,
The post-nut clarity.
Yeah. Like, it's the same thing with everything. You finally hit 225. You finally hit 315. You're like, all right, what's next? Like,
yeah. And then you feel like you could always do better.
Yeah.
It can be good and bad depending how you look at it, depending how you use it. But I think that goes with anything. Like, even with financially, right? I hit a certain point financially that now it's just like, I get it again. It's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I look at this other number and I'm like, damn, I want this so bad. I want this so bad. And I feel like the minute I get it, I'm like, let me get more.
Yeah.
But like, none of that happens if you don't believe in yourself.
It's true.
Like, I don't look the way I look if I don't believe in myself. I don't do calisthenics the way I do calisthenics if I don't believe I could ever do calisthenics that way. There's some people, for example, and I'm using the gym because it's the most relatable for me, but there's some people who look at somebody do pull-ups or whatever and be like, damn, man, I wish I could do that. But they don't genuinely wish it because they never try it.
It's true.
Like, I saw people do it and I was like, damn, I want to do that. So I just started doing it.
Tailored your whole workouts to that.
Yeah, I just started implementing it into my routine, and I fucking sucked at it. But eventually I got better. And the one I specifically remember the most is the, damn, I'm losing the name, but it's a leg raise. You hang from the bar, you do a leg raise, you bring your shins all the way to the bar and back down. I remember the first time I saw somebody do it, I was like, damn, that's a crazy core strength. Like, I want to do that. And I remember trying it, and I struggled, and I couldn't get it. So I'd only do halfway, just normal leg raises. Then one day I was like, fuck it, let me try it. Bro, I used every ounce of strength in my body, but I got it. I was like, oh shit, I did one. And I kept doing one and one and one. And so eventually now I could do like 12. And it's just like, whoosh, 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 no problem. But I could have also just been like, damn, that's crazy. And then just never tried it. And been like, oh man, I wish I could do that. But then never tried it. It's like, no, you can do it. You can do anything, actually. You just don't believe in yourself. You don't have the belief that, oh, I can do this. I just need to put in the work. And the work is what's then going to get me the result. People just want to be like, see somebody do it. Oh, let me do it. And then it doesn't work. It's like, oh, no, it's not for me. No, it is for you. You just didn't try.
You got to make it work.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on. That was Jordan Peterson has something that he says. It's like in the human genetic code, right? There's so many, like in your DNA, there's so much shit that we will never know we can do and there's so many things we have the genetic code to succeed at, but we don't know because we're never put in this situation to. So it's like the more shit in life you go through and test yourself with, the more of your DNA and genetic code you actually unlock. And what does this mean, right? So now you unlock the genetic code that you already have within you to do X, Y, and Z. Well, now when you have kids, that genetic code is already predisposed because you unlocked it.
Yep.
Because it's like there's active genetic code, right? The things we do every day, the brushing the teeth, everything, like all this neurological shit and the abilities that we have, right? Your fitness and everything like that. Like when you work out, you're actively changing your body, right? There's so much that we don't know what we're capable of simply just because we don't try.
Yep. Yeah. I know that when it comes to at least working out, like let's say if you're in really good physical shape and you have a child, your child is far more likely to be in better, if not the same as good physical shape when they reach that same peak value in their life. Like I don't know why I said value, but that age in their life when around where you had them, or even in their pre-adolescent years to like teenagers and going forward, like they're more susceptible to being more fit because that genetic code is already you're predisposed to it already because it's been what's the word? Fucking whatever.
Activated.
Yeah. That EX is what it starts with. I don't remember the rest of the word, but forget it. It'll come to me later. But anyways, it's more pronounced. You know, it's more pronounced in the code. Therefore, it's more susceptible, which I think also benefits me because my dad was a monster when he had me. So therefore, it is true. Like, I do resemble more of his physique. Maybe a little bit more shredded because he went more the strongman route. But needless to say, like the strength, even like the physical stature is very similar in a sense. But I think a lot of that comes from how he looked when he had me. And like even my brother, right? How he looked when he had my brother. I don't know how my dad looked then, but I'm sure it was a much more similar state. He had me later. So he was a lot bigger and stronger when he had me. So I feel like that also plays a role in the difference too.
So and it definitely could have, and I just want to say, doesn't make sense. Definitely could have contradict each other. Anyways, but there was I saw this recently, like within the last month or so. There was a woman. She was like a power lifter. She got pregnant, but she kept lifting. And she did it like a very safe way, super clean, very high protein diet, right? And no bullshit, her newborn came out very defined. Wow. Obviously, it's not a muscular baby. It's a fucking newborn, but like shoulders defined, biceps defined, like very cut. I was like, this nigga started with a head start. Yeah. It's some bullshit.
Came out like Stewie on the episode when he takes steroids.
But I think that's just evidence that there's something to be said about how quickly your body's changing and reacting and changing your genetic code.
And I think a lot of that, like you said, goes back to that. It's not so much that the belief is what makes it happen. The belief definitely, I shouldn't say that. The belief does make it happen, but it happens because we already have the predisposition to make it happen. It's just we don't tap into that part to expose it and bring it out. And that's why I say, like, it's so important to believe in yourself in anything you ever do, because if you don't, no one else will. Like I mentioned before, Nico believed that you could hit 225, but it took you being a little bit skeptical in yourself and saying, you know what, maybe I can, that led to you hitting it. But if you had no belief in yourself of hitting 225 at the moment, then you would not have even attempted it.
What you just said put an idea in my head. I want to put it this way for you guys. You can either deal with, damn, I tried 225 and I didn't hit it, or forever be like, I wonder if I could hit 225. Yeah. And maybe one day try it. You can only win. At the end of the day, if I would have failed at 225, I would have been like, yo, so that's what 225 felt like? That didn't feel that much heavier than this. Let me try it harder at 195, 205, right? And like so on and so forth. You can only gain from trying, but you don't try unless you believe you can succeed at it. If you really don't think you can do something and you go through the motion, you didn't fucking try. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it reflects in your ability to say, all right, this is hard. Let me find a way to make it happen. If you don't think you can do something, you're going to be like, this is, like you said before, this is hard. Fuck it. Right? Yeah. But like, if I struggle to do a pull-up, but I'm like, yo, I know I could do a fucking pull-up. Like, I'm going to be that guy that could do the leg raises and all that shit, right? Yeah. Eventually, you become the guy that can do the leg raises, but you have to believe that you can do it. You have to believe that it is possible for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to kind of give like a little breakdown too, I don't know if this is exactly how it works when it comes to just belief, but I know this is how it works when it comes to working out. It's very important. Like anyone that you see pulling heavy weight or pushing heavy weight, they probably failed many times trying to hit that weight before they finally actually hit it. But that failure is what allowed them to hit it. The fact that they believed in themselves enough to even attempt it and try it got them to the point where then they actually did accomplish it. And in terms of working out, how it works, right? Let's say I push heavy weight, right? So for example, my bench, I hit 275. I went for 285, but I failed. However, one, I learned a lot from that because I felt all the weaknesses in my body. I felt where I was lacking. And now I know where I need to pick up so that I can hit it. Number two, it puts so much pressure and it shocks the CNS, your central nervous system. So eventually what happens is your central nervous system gets used to the weight and it's no longer a shock. So now it knows how to respond back to the weight. And that's how you get stronger. That's why they say like, oh, muscle memory. There actually is no thing as muscle memory. Like your muscles don't necessarily have the memory. Like there's no like brain in there.
Neurons.
Yeah. But what it is your central nervous system. That's where the memory comes from. So you can lose it. But once you start doing it again, because your central nervous system is used to feeling a certain amount of stress, it knows how to respond back to it. So then it sends signals throughout the body to grow so it can get big to push the weight. And that's how you get big and that's how you get strong. So
hold on. At Gianni Rosado on Instagram, follow him, DM him gains. This man just gave you an anatomy lesson. Like, bro, come on.
Yeah, so that's how it works. So for example, with 285, right? If I keep attempting it and let's say I fail, but next time I get a little bit more and a little bit more and a little more, it's putting that stress on my central nervous system. Eventually my central nervous system is going to it's not going to just accept, oh, I couldn't do it. It goes into like a shock mode. It's like, what the fuck was that? Like, hold on, we need to make sure we could push it because it's thinking survival, right? All that weight's coming down and it wants to pick it back up. It doesn't want all the weight on it. Mm-hmm. So it sends signals to the body, push. So eventually it gets so used to sending that signal and the muscles get so used to it that the muscles grow and get stronger and then boom, you push the weight. That's how you grow. That's how you get muscles. That's how you get big. That's how you get strong. That's working out in a nutshell. That's why if you have a really hard workout, afterwards you're tired because you just put so much stress on your central nervous system and you're like just out of it and you're just like, oh, I need a nap. At least for me, that's how I get. After my workouts, I'm just like, oh, I'm so tired. I need to sleep. Mm-hmm. And it's important for recovery for that reason because it gives your central nervous system time to relax and then be like, okay, we're not under attack no more. We can calm down. We can recover. And now we can prepare for the next time it happens. That's working out in a nutshell. That same principle applies to literally everything in life. If it's a business, right? And you're scared to do it. You're scared to do it. And then you finally have the belief in yourself. Like, okay, you know what? I believe in myself. I can do it. Or you don't even have to have belief in yourself, but just have a little bit of skepticism of like, maybe I can do this. Just that little, maybe I can will get you going, put you in it. And if you fail, what's going to happen is the next time it comes around where you failed at, you're going to get there. Like if it took you a month to get to that point when you finally failed, you get there in a week. And then now you find a new struggle and it's like, oh, at this point in a month, I failed at this point. And then you try again. And now instead of taking 2 months to get to that point, now you get there in 2 weeks. And then you keep going and you keep getting further and further. And then before you know it, boom, you get it. But it's because you built up that stress on the mind.
Yep.
It's the same principle, right? Like with the central nervous system, you built that stress up over time. Eventually the body had enough time to finally build the responses to it so to make it happen. Same thing with business. You had a little bit of skepticism of believing in yourself. Like maybe I can do it. You attempted it. Finally, you built up enough knowledge and skill sets where now, boom, it hits. Applies to literally everything and anything in your life.
I feel like I'm the viewer. I'm like, yo, this dude's speaking right now. But like in a non-gym kind of way, what you said reminded me of Russ' interview. And he said, like, when you said the skepticism, right? Mm-hmm. He said, if there's anything you're trying to do, just ask yourself, what if it worked? What if it worked? What if I put up 225? What if that business succeeds? What if my YouTube channel gets views? What if the podcast pops off? What if, right? Mm-hmm. And then he says, it can turn out better than you ever fucking imagine. Yeah. And it's so true. And it's like, it all comes from that. Like, one, having the positive skepticism. And two, it's not just going to, oh, I did this and I succeeded. No, there's going to be a lot of failure. And like you said, you're wired to build tolerance to the stress to help you succeed. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why we become desensitized to things, because our bodies realize we don't need to stress this. We got this. Let's move forward. That weight, it's heavy today. It'll be heavy tomorrow. Eventually, it won't be as heavy.
Yep, you start adapting. It's like I know this whole conversation has been predominantly around the gym, but I feel like it's the most relatable. It's like with 135, right? One plate on each side, 45 on each side. When I was in high school, I was like, damn, this shit's heavy. Oh, now I could do like, it's just a warm up. Like it's not heavy no more. And then
don't disrespect me like that.
Then 185 used to be heavy, and now it's still part of the warm up. Where it's like, oh, it's not that bad. And 205 was heavy. Then now 205 isn't that heavy. Then 225 got heavy, and now 225 isn't as heavy as it used to be. And you can feel the difference, like when you grip it and you're moving it, you feel how it doesn't feel like a challenge anymore. Your body's just like, it's not hard. So you build up those like calluses over time. Like David Goggins says, like you got to build mental calluses. You got to build calluses in all realms of life for that reason. And it comes from belief, right? Everything we have today, where we are today, it didn't happen by chance. It happened because to an extent we believed in ourselves. Whether we were aware of it or we weren't, there was a belief in it. You didn't get muscles because you just suddenly got muscles. No, you believed that if you went to the gym and put in the work and did the repetitions, you'd get muscles. And then you went, and because you believed in yourself, you stayed consistent and you did it, and now you have the muscles.
He said that.
But again, that's everything in life. I always come to the gym because, again, I feel like it's very relatable for me. May not be relatable for everyone, but for me it is. The gym is the prime example of what you need to do with anything else in life. What is the whole thing in the gym is you don't go do one workout and then get huge. No, you have to go and do what? Reps. And what else? Sets. So you're doing multiple reps multiple times over a period of time. And then you finally hit that goal that you had in mind. Yeah, and then you finally hit that goal that you had in mind. Like your goal maybe could have been, I want to hit 225 by this day or in this year. You didn't just jump to 225 and keep, no. You took the steps to get there. You said, okay, I'm going to start at this weight and do 3 sets of 10. And you keep doing 3 sets of 10. And you keep doing those repetitions. You build up the muscle, the strength, the endurance. Then you go up and you keep doing it. Then you go up and you keep doing it and you keep doing it. But it's the reps that compounded to the big goal. It wasn't here and you jumped. It was here. Maybe you get sick, come back down, back up, here. A little bit inconsistent in the summer, come back here. But it's not
trip to Miami.
Lose some weight, come back. But
it's true.
That's just how everything is in life.
Never a straight line.
100%. And it all comes from belief.
It's true. And the reason why I like using the gym for a lot of the examples is because I believe how you do some things is how you do everything. And how you handle yourself in the gym, you can say it doesn't. I promise you, I can watch you work out and I can tell you a lot about who you are as a person. Like we've mentioned this on the podcast before. If you're the kind of person that it gets heavy on one of the last few sets and you're just like, and you right away rack it, that tells me you don't have the stress endurance. You like if things get hard, you're either gonna shy back to your comfort zone, right? You're gonna go back to what you know. You know why? Because as much as working out is with muscles, it's just as much up here too. Mental calluses. Can you as a person sit there while you feel the weight falling on you and say, nah, I'm gonna push. I don't care if it falls on me, I'm gonna push. That speaks volumes to who you are as a person and how you handle a lot of shit in life. And the gym too is, like you said, I could buy nice clothes. I could buy a nice car. I could make myself look rich. I can inherit riches, right? You can't inherit a great physique. And even if you had the genetic predisposition to be a Greek statue, if you don't pursue it and maintain it, you're going to look like everybody else, right? And some people have a faster metabolism than others. That's not an excuse. If you have a predisposition to being heavier, I don't give a fuck. That's not an excuse, right? Like at the end of the day, and it's funny, I saw this on Instagram, that a fit body, a well-maintained body is the true status symbol because it is now rarer than a millionaire in the United States.
Yeah, it's more rare for people to have. I think there's less people with six packs in the U.S. or in the world than there are millionaires.
Yo, I'm changing my Instagram bio to the 1%.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I might have to take that idea too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget the exact number, but I remember seeing the stat that there are less people. I forget if it's the U.S. or the world, but I saw that there's less people with six packs than there are. It's more rare for somebody to have a six pack than it is for them to be a millionaire. There's more millionaires than there are people with six packs.
I could take it one further too. There are more people over 6 foot. So, which is supposed to, by the way, being 6 foot plus is actually like technically a mutation, right? Because humans naturally aren't supposed to be that tall.
Okay.
That is still more common than people with abs.
Damn.
And everybody has abs. They're there.
Yeah.
They're just underneath the 17 days of McDonald's that you be eating.
Yeah. It's called visceral fat. You get rid of the visceral fat and it comes out. To have abs, you just got to be a certain body fat percentage.
Mm-hmm.
It comes down. Well, one, you also do have to work out your core. But two, it's your diet as well. And if you can drop body fat percentage on top of working out your core, you're going to look shredded. So, like anything in life, the formulas are there. They exist. The formulas are very simple, just not easy. So,
simple, not easy.
Yep. It's simple, but it's not easy.
Yo, when we start a fucking merch line, bro, that's got to be one of our first. The amount of times we say that shit.
Yeah. It's all mental. Simple, but not easy. I don't know what else we say.
No excuses.
No
I don't give a
excuses.
fuck you. Like,
Yeah. We'll come up with something. But yeah, again, just like going back to the main topic, it's so important to believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't believe in yourself, you can't expect anyone else to believe in you, and you can't expect to be great. Like, you're never going to accomplish anything unless you believe in yourself. Everything you have in your life right now, whether it's the clothes that you bought yourself, whether it's the car you drive, the physique you have, whatever it may be, you believed in yourself. You believed that when you bought those clothes, you were going to make the money back and be okay. You believed in yourself. You believed that when you got the physique you've been dying to get, that when you went to the gym, that it was going to happen, right? You had that belief that if I go to the gym, I'm going to get this physique, and then it happened. It's the same in any other part of your life. So wherever you feel like you are struggling, you're not struggling because some external source. I mean, is it possible? Maybe. But it's also very and highly likely you're not succeeding in it just because you just don't believe in yourself in it. You have a sense of doubt and a sense of fear, and you yourself are holding yourself back from it. And instead of taking the accountability for yourself, you make some excuse, this or that, or this. You put a certain mental state in your mind, and then you just leave it at that and go with that. Like, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, it's not that you don't want that. It's just that you don't believe in yourself to achieve it. And that's the only thing that's separating you from getting it, the belief. If you can just believe in yourself and say, I think, you know what, maybe I can get it. Mm-hmm. And even if you fall flat on your face, embarrass yourself, who cares? Who cares? Mm-hmm. There's so many other countries. You could just move. Like, it don't matter. Just try. Just try. Just believe in yourself. Fail hard, fail fast. And again, remember, whether it's the physique, the materials, whatever it is in life that you want, that you don't have right now, or you feel like you're failing at, it all stems from you just not believing in yourself. So take the first step and just say, I'm going to believe in myself. Yep. Do little things to build up that discipline, that belief, that competence and confidence in yourself to then make things happen. That's that.
Confidence comes from competence.
Yep. I mean, that's all I got.
This was a good one.
It was.
Everyone's a good one.
Yeah, that's true.
I enjoyed this. Like, it was, because it's so true. And at the end of the day, you can have the skill set to be great. You can have the mind. You can have every characteristic of being great in any realm, whether it's with girls, the gym, money, right? If you don't believe in yourself to be great at anything, then it doesn't matter. Like, there's very talented athletes who never even made it to college sports because they didn't believe in themselves.
Yep.
For example, I think it was Michael Jordan. No, it was Kobe. Kobe always said, like, he's not talented at all. but he just fucking worked harder than anybody else because he believed that he was meant to be the best and that he was the best.
Mm-hmm.
And that old saying, like, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Everything comes from belief. Without belief, none of it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And when you believe in yourself and you prove yourself right, oof.
It's a great
drug.
feeling.
It's a drug.
It's a great feeling. Yeah. But yeah, you got any other closing thoughts?
I'm tapped out.
All right. Well, that's it for episode 53. Catch you guys on the next one. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment what you thought about the episode. Agree, disagree, anything like that. What's your take on what we said? Make sure to like the video, share it with your friends and family, and make sure to come back for next week's episode, for episode 54. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.